Hello, everybody! Brand new, weird-looking animations to make everything look like you're on an iPad. Yeah, that's step one on trying to clean up this show. Hello, everybody! How you doing? Welcome to Wrestleview Weekly, February 27th, 2019. I am Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and co-host of Wrestleview Live, alongside Adam Martin, editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com, where we cover all of the major WWE pay-per-views. Hello, everyone in the chat room. Lex, CJ, Jason, Andrew. Who else is in there? You better speak up now, or else I'll never know who the hell you are. Welcome to the show. Holy hell. Did a lot of stuff happen in the past 2 days. Man, I don't know. There are so many places to start. Hey, Michael. Hello, Gills. Yes. So many places to start. So many things to talk about this week. Just in the past 2 days alone. But yeah, check out the background. We fight, we overcome, we Doug Lackey. Hey, how you there? Hey, it's on the shirt. Yeah, brand new t-shirt that was released that apparently some people are starting to question everything that happened with that person. We're going to talk a lot about that today. But this is Wrestleview Weekly. We cover all the stuff that happens for the week of the pro wrestling. Going to look at two really fascinating episodes of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. I don't know so much. And also, going to kind of play a little bit of devil's advocate when it comes to Monday Night Raw, how everyone was totally super effing psyched about the finish of Monday Night Raw, where me, I'm kind of like, huh? I'm kind of, okay, I guess that's how you're going to do it. But I got questions on that one, too. Not I'm complaining about it or anything, just going, I guess this is how we're going to do it? Okay. Yeah, Brian, I agree. So things happen. Lots of things happen. Going to talk Raw, going to talk SmackDown. Lots of news coming down the pipe, including confirmations on releases of two WWE talents, confirmation on the hiring of a new writer for WWE Creative. He's a guy who's been there before. Lots of other stuff news-wise. Major changes to the WWE milk carton. Major changes. Also, God, if you thought changes were to that, there are a lot of changes to the WrestleMania whiteboard that we've been working on for the past month or so. So, yeah, we got to make some changes to that, but at least we can confirm some matches that are going to be happening on it. Yep. Hey, Grash, how's it going? And finally, going to talk about Roman Reigns, leukemia, and how sometimes you got to quell your cynicism. Okay? Sometimes you got to quell your cynicism. All right? Before it turns you into an asshole. Such is the case of Dark Overlord Meltzer. Fascinating story to talk about with that. But first, before we get into things, of course, first we got to do this. We are, of course, today is a very special day. Well, the only special day because there's a lot of important stuff we're going to be talking about, so it's time to drink from the chalice of truth, is what I have deemed this glass that I got for Christmas from my girlfriend Deanna. This is the chalice of truth with my always reliable sources. Today's sources are very powerful. They are Noda's Hopcakes Imperial IPA. Whopping 10.2 ABV on that one. Description of this one. This is, for one, this beer is one of my favorite beers. It is only released twice a year. Done by Noda Brewery down over in Charlotte. It is, and I got to read this good. Pour yourself a stack of Imperial IPA goodness soaked in lots and lots of delicious Vermont maple syrup. Then put down your axe, loosen your suspenders, and enjoy sweet citrus, hops, and resin flavors in this special release treat enjoy immediately, and feel free to come back for seconds. So yeah, Vermont Maple Syrup Imperial IPA. Man, I love this stuff. Not only are we drinking that, hey Quentin, so yeah, so last week after, we had surprises by NXT talents, Ricochet on Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, and Tomato Chomper. I said that there's no way. It's only a one for. They're not going to show up next week. This is a complete sign of desperation. Yeah, I'm going to lock that. Yeah, and not only did they appear on, not only did everyone except Tomato Chomper appear on Raw, but also Ricochet and Aleister Black appeared on SmackDown. So, I think for the sake of my integrity and the sake of all context and not worrying about, what am I doing or anything, yeah, I got to pay the price. As many of you know, here on Wrestleview Weekly, I make locked picks, I make locked predictions, and if I fail in said locked predictions, I take a shot of the tequila, the Luna Azul Blanco tequila. Since NXT talent appeared on both Raw and SmackDown, I believe it is only fair to say that, yeah, I should take two shots. Gil saying, good thing you didn't say you'd do a shot of Batista Triple H happened, since you were sure it wouldn't. I was hesitant on that one, Gills. Batista Triple H was one that I thought was going to be good. It's one they could do. I had no faith that they would have enough time to do it. But damn it, I should have known better with Ric Flair's 70th birthday that it wouldn't be just something they would do for, Becky Lynch. It's something that they could do to inject Batista, which once again I will talk about because it was kind of awkward. It was kind of an awkward ending. I mean, I know everyone was so jacked about it, and me, I was kind of like, okay, this'll get the kids interested in WrestleMania, I guess, maybe, but all right, but I was wrong in my talks about NXT talent on Raw and SmackDown. So hey, Ebony. So yeah, we're gonna pay the price. I like hearing the sound. Okay. And it's a hell of a chaser, too. Well, I mean, it's not as bad as the time I chased this stuff with my scotch. So, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't as bad. We've had worse. So, all right, let's pour this sucker. Let's pour this sucker. All right. I really hate doing this, but man, again, me and my big mouth, my stupid, dumb, stupid head. No, I can't chug that. No, I can't. You're high. No, I'm not going to chug this tequila. Deanna enjoys my company. I can't do that. And I would hope that you all do too. Because I enjoy your company, and I can't. Okay, I'm procrastinating here. I'm going to take off the glasses for this one too. I always seem to. I gotta brace myself for the shot. Okay, the double shot. All right, Doug, don't make these stupid ass predictions, okay? You cannot predict Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. You're way better at predicting pay-per-views and maybe more long-term things. So, all right. All right. Here's to me not knowing shit about professional wrestling. Ah. Oh. Oh. God. Oh, God. It always hurts. It always hurts. It always hurts. Ah, Andrew saying in the chat, speaking of which, fastlane picks are next week. Great to have a pay-per-view on daylight savings time to boot. That's right. Spring Forward, I guess, is happening. Is that on Spring Forward? I guess. I don't know. I always get those days mixed up. But speaking of, yes, next week, Fastlane picks are going to be made, and I will be joined by Mike Tedesco, the recapper for Raw and co-host of the Post-Raw show, alongside his beautiful wife, Victoria, that is here every Monday after Raw. Excuse me. All right. Take me another sip. Oh, boy. I really live up to this gimmick. I really, really do. All right, let's get on with the show. This is for timestamps. Oh, kind of looks kind of cool, doesn't it, doing those little transitions? I'm working on the transitions a little bit further, though. I want to be really snazzy with them. So we'll see what happens there. Hey, look, it's a Roman Reigns, and he's sporting up a new wife beater there that everyone's going to buy because fuck cancer. Brian saying, oh God, I love when you call Mike an idiot. Well, it's better for me to call him that when he's actually here on the show with me. I apologize. I shouldn't do it if he's not here to defend himself. So you might hear a lot of that. We'll see what happens. But Roman Reigns there. He's looking up in the sky. That's not where the WrestleMania sign is. Roman, what you doing over there? This show hailed out of Atlanta, Georgia. Roman Reigns' music hits. He's out there staring at the crowd, soaking it all in because we haven't seen him since October. Yeah, and if you can, and he's a happy son of a gun too. If you can kind of, I'm only going to say it here, but differences between his look, he has slimmed down. He has really slimmed down. I don't know if it's just because of the shirt or if it's been so long since we've seen him, but man, does he look slimmed down is what it looks like. Came out to address the audience. Said that he missed y'all. He said that he seriously missed us all. He said that this wasn't his yard, it is our yard. And he said, I'm probably going to be saying this a lot, but I'm going to start out by saying thank you. He was basically, he came out and I'm trying to scroll through here because he's got a lot of. Mike did a great job on recapping this. Let's see. He made his announcement. So he announces he's in remission. The leukemia has been toned down. So yay, the big dog is back. The big dog is back. The big dog is back. Yay! Roman Reigns is back. Awesome. Leukemia in remission. Sweet. Unless you're some people who are questioning modern medicine and how diseases work and how the cancer works, yeah. Hey, and I am not one of those people. Okay, I'm so glad he's back. I'm so glad he's healthy. I'm glad everything is great. But at the same time, I learned a lot more in these past 48 hours about leukemia, and I'm going to actually share that with you guys later on in the show in order to quell everyone's cynicism about, well, how can he be back this early? Why does he have a full head of hair? Guys, yeah. You just need some education, okay? Just stop. Don't comment about stuff you don't know about. Okay? I don't know about leukemia and cancer. That's why I don't talk about it. Okay? So, yeah. Roman Reigns is back, and as he's heading up the ramp, Seth Rollins is there to greet him. Oh, squish, squish. Squish, squish. Squish, squish. Squish, squish. Well, squish, squish. Yay, yay, yay. Yes, it was a great way to kick off Raw. Wouldn't have kicked it off any other way. But now, we are going to have a non-title tag team match of the Revival versus Aleister Black and Ricochet, the two guys that I thought would not be showing up after last week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Yeah. Each person handles it differently. Yep, you're right, Andrew. This match was I kind of liked this match. I liked this one a lot more than last week's Revival DIY match. And I think it's just because of the certain spots that were in it. Like, say, Aleister, doing his fake out, and then Ricochet going through the ropes. This match really, I really dug this one. And it might be just because of the different looks, and it wasn't a rehashing of a match that I've seen before. I've seen tons of DIY Revival matches, and those matches are not made for network TV. So seeing this one was way better on the palate. Aleister Black and Ricochet were the winners in this one. Nice little step-up moonsault by the Ricochet. Ricochet will be... Andrew saying Ricochet has grown on me. He's grown on me a lot, okay? He is a wonderful addition to this roster of WWE talent. Now, whether he's officially on the main roster or not, I don't know. Because I'm thrown off with their entrances of Black or Ricochet or Gargano or Ciampa. They still have the NXT caption underneath them. We don't know if they are officially part of the main roster or not. We're not sure. Ebony's got a hot take. Wrestlers need to stop with the shitty iron-on tattoos. I don't know what kind of a take that is. Quentin saying it was a good Raw but hates the dead crowd. Crowds you've got to take, give or take, okay? Not every crowd is going to be a post-Mania crowd. Not every crowd is going to be, New York, Miami. Not all crowds are like that, okay? You got to bear in mind that not all wrestling fans that go to these shows are subscribers to the WWE Network. And not all patrons to these shows are very knowledgeable of what everything we're talking about right now. It's just a basic fact. Okay, I'll never forget the time I went to Daytona for the TNA show, and I sat next to Meth Girl, and there were people around me who did not know that Hulk Hogan was going through his 6th or 7th back surgery, while it had been going on for the past 5 months. Seriously, and also Ebony puts up a great point. Not all WWE subscribers watch NXT. Hi, how you doing? I don't watch NXT until a takeover is about to come, and then I binge on it. So, gotta bear in mind, okay, not all wrestling fans are going to be like us that are knowledgeable about the happenings and stuff. So, we should not critique the crowd because they just aren't cheering for stuff that we think they should be cheering for, okay? Ebony, been a subscriber since the beginning. Same here. Only watched 2 episodes of NXT. Well, that's a lot less than me, okay? But that's not me getting on a soapbox or anything like that, okay? I'll be honest. The only times I really jump on the WWE Network are for pay-per-view or the special events like the pay-per-views and the binging of NXT before TakeOver comes on. So I don't really touch the network that much. I haven't watched a lot of original programming, though I should, because I've heard their documentaries that they do are brilliantly done. So, yeah. Charlie Caruso's backstage with Baron Corbin. He's just, he goes, is he concerned about what will happen when he sees Reigns next? Corbin says everyone lives in the past. Corbin claims that he never said anything about his, I don't know what. Corbin says that some things just sound bad out of context. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. But basically, Karen Corbin has some kind of beef with Roman Reigns. I don't know. Something. Shawn Michaels is backstage. They're celebrating. It's the 70th birthday of Ric Flair, and Johnny Gargano just hugs him for no reason. I don't know what Johnny Gargano has to do with this. Tomato Chomper wasn't there. I don't know. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Elias. Then he gets immediately cut off by Lacey Evans, who walks down the ramp and walks back up. Then gets cut off by Dean Ambrose, who's feeling in a festive mood. He's reminiscing about the past, and Ambrose feels good. That makes him dangerous, and he wants a rematch with Drew McIntyre, but only this time it's going to be a no DQ match. Elias began to strum the guitar, tried to wail on him. Yeah. So he got this little thing and gave him some dirty deeds. Yeah. So that's a nice little fun little filler segment there. Yeah. Is Charlie going to ask Ambrose about his Roman comments? Maybe. Hey, Ricky Steamboat is backstage celebrating the birthday too. Oh, well, that's neat. Riot Squad versus Natalya and Rowdy Ronda Rousey for the 6th time, I think. Doesn't really matter what happens in this match. Liv is cornered. Whoa, shaky. This match was only a filler because we got Becky Lynch running down to ringside in her crutch. Yeah, to kind of do her thing. Keeps trying to go after her. She beats people up with the crutch, tries to beat up Rousey with the crutch. Those two are getting in a tangle. And then Rousey is led by police in handcuffs, leading everyone to go, oh, it's just like Austin. Oh, it's just like Austin. It's Stone Cold Becky. Oh, that's right. Uh-huh. All right. Yeah. After all that brouhaha, we go to commercial, come back from the commercial. Ronda's helping Natalya to the back, but then she comes back over to the ring, and it says that it's about time to end this. She calls out Vince McMahon, but instead Stephanie McMahon's music hits. She goes over to the ring, and this segment here, again, shows everything that the only thing that I think is wrong with Ronda Rousey. She talks way too fast. Way too fast. If you listen to her and what she's saying, it's great stuff. Okay? Great stuff. But she says it way too fast, and she's not getting a reaction from the crowd to what she's saying. Really, you should watch this segment and compare the delivery and vocal tone between Stephanie and Ronda. It is really a stark contrast between the two. How you're supposed to deliver and what happens when you're too nervous and you're just blowing through your lines or whatnot. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure Rousey might be adding her own things into what she says, but man, she's way too fast. Way too fast. But she lays down the title in front of Stephanie. Basically, this is in protest of Becky not being reinstated back into the E. Mikey saying, compelling television as the story of what is potentially the first women's WrestleMania main event continues to unfold. Very good stuff. I totally agree. Very good stuff, that's for sure. We got replays showing and all the things. Stephanie McMahon is holding the Raw Women's title when Triple H walks up to her. Yeah, they have the title, so I don't know if Ronda's relinquished it or what. We don't know. Jinder Mahal is in the ring with the Sings. He says there's so much to talk about Ric Flair's birthday, but what has he ever done? The biggest travesty is Mahal wasn't invited. You cannot have a celebration with the modern-day Maharaja. So that's why he was backstage, and he challenged any superstar that was invited to Ric Flair's birthday party. Because this party is over. Kurt Angle's music hits, and so we have the Jinder Mahal versus Kurt Angle. Okay. Kurt Angle won with the ankle lock. Singh brothers come in to try to do stuff, and he just does German suplexes. Mikey saying it's one thing to make Kurt Angle look bad against Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin. Chances are he may have a swan song match against one of them at Mania. It's another thing to have Jinder Mahal dominate him for the majority of a match. Yuck. Yeah, that's true. Jinder had most of the offense in the match, and then Kurt Angle just won with the ankle lock. But again, I don't know what we're doing. It's just a filler. Don't need to... Try not to look too into this. Okay, try not to look too into it. Alexa Bliss coming onto the stage for a moment of bliss with Fons Balor. She makes some sexual innuendo jokes and stuff. Then Lio Rush comes out and interrupts the moment, basically challenging Fons Balor for an Intercontinental title match because it's a title that he never deserves. Never deserves, and it should be Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley. So instead, we are going to have after this an Intercontinental title match between Fons Balor and Lio Rush. Yeah, this moment of bliss stinks, okay, but I'm beginning to think it stinks on purpose. Okay, I'm really beginning to think that this is supposed to stink on purpose. So, but we're getting a match out of this, as we would after any kind of a talk show that gets interrupted by people. Got to fill up the sources with the rest of the goodness that's in this can. Let's talk about this title match between Fons Balor and Lio Rush. Just as much as Ricochet is growing on me, holy shit, Lio Rush is growing on me. I don't know where the hell this came from, but dear Lord, this is some good stuff. Fons Balor seems to be better in the ring and a better act when he's against critters his own size. That was the case in NXT. In NXT, his matches were pretty compelling against talent that's his size or his height, you know? Going against guys like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and, you know, talent that is not twice his size, okay? Seeing him in matches with Lashley or Elias, for that matter, no, they just aren't believable. Him and Drew McIntyre, no, they just weren't very good. Not very good at all. We're not compelling at all. But if you're wanting to show him off, these are the kind of matches that you show him off with, okay? It was not bad at all. Lio Rush got a fair amount of offense in this match, but as did Fons. This was a good match. I really enjoyed it. Here's the stuff that Leo's doing. He does the moonsault on the outside, then he runs back into the ring. Going after the ring, he's going to do another dive through the ropes. He's going to run back into the ring. He's going to go off the ropes. He's going to do another dive. Yeah. Good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Okay. Though I'd love to see Lio Rush be in a pinball against someone like Braun Strowman. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's really, really good stuff. Winner and still champ was Fons Balor after he did the coup de Gracie. Even though he was feigning having a bad knee. Yeah. It's kind of tough to do that. I would have liked it if he landed just on one foot. Mikey agreeing with me. He was more blown away by Lio Rush. The guy did look absolutely great in this one. CJ's the Dean Ambrose, I don't want to die suicide dive. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. The Ascension is backstage making fun of Tucker and Henry Machinery, but then suddenly Otis showed up. There are a lot of things I need to clip from this segment. I love Otis just blurting out words and grunting. I love Otis just going, jeez, stand up, meat. You know, I love that. I absolutely love it. And the Ascension's off the milk carton. So there you go. How many ribs has Finn broke with that finish? I'm not sure, Lex. I don't know. We got replays of stuff. Bobby Lashley is pissed at Lio Rush backstage. He says that Rush just can't do anything right. Rush was supposed to get a title shot for Lashley, but instead he got one for himself. Lashley says he can't be worrying about Rush when he goes against Strowman. So Lashley asks if he can trust Rush, and Rush says he can't. So right now, we've got Bobby Lashley with Lio Rush in tow versus Braun Strowman. Which, at any other point in time, I would have loved this match, but I don't know why. Braun has kind of gone down a little bit for me. I loved Braun, okay? But I don't know what it is. He's just kind of dropped map for me, I guess. I don't know. But when he's doing the trucker beep beep, beep beep, and yeah, when he's doing I love the shoulder block spots that he does running the laps around ringside. I think that's fun, especially when he did those against Owens. Oh, they were fantastic. And basically, the match never happened. Lashley attacked Strowman before the bell rang. But Mike saying, yeah, I think the segment was a win because the match never started. Yep, absolutely correct. Bayley's going to be taking on Nia Jax later tonight. But coming up next is Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre in a no disqualification match. Whee! Gil saying Braun never seems to have anything to do during WrestleMania season. We brought it up before. Braun was a two-year project to build his character when he debuted on the scene during the first Superstar shakeup, if you recall, with the disbanding of the Wyatt family. And since then, you don't anticipate Braun in 1 year to have a decent WrestleMania match. He was injected into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Okay, the next year, yeah, he's teamed up with a kid to try to win the tag team titles, okay? But the thing is, it just seems that way, that they build up steam for Braun throughout the entire calendar year, and then when it goes to WrestleMania, we have nothing for him. Or we've backed him into a corner with some matches, but I don't think we have been backed into a corner with Braun Strowman this time around for a WrestleMania match. We'll get to the whiteboard later on. We're going to do some fantasy booking. And yes, I apologize that today I was going to talk to you about how to realistically fantasy book. Okay, it was going to be fantasy booking for dummies, including myself, with all the tequila that I drink. But unfortunately, cancer happens and stupid people say stupid shit. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. Ric Flair is pulled up with his wife or someone backstage. Wee, woo, yeah. Charlie Caruso was backstage with Seth Rollins. Rollins says he can't stop thinking of Brock Lesnar. You ought to take some pills for that. Yeah. No DQ match. Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre. Lots of stuff happening with this. Ambrose is going to do weird things off the post. Yeah, your winner by pinfall after a Claymore kick to the face after Ambrose got slugged in the back with a guitar by Elias was Drew McIntyre. Then Baron Corbin's music hits. Karen Corbin's music hits. He comes down. And then Bobby Lashley is with him. So those two are there. And there's Elias. He's kind of standing there. He's like, okay. So all three of them bum rush into the ring. And we've got a 4-on-1 on top of Ambrose. Roman Reigns' music hits. Out comes Seth and Roman for the save. Roman's Superman punch is great to see. Even though it's been so long, let's just go ahead and face facts. It's just good to see. Nice little stomp by Rollins on Elias there to make the save on Ambrose. And then we get this shot of pure silence of Rollins and Reigns from top of the ramp looking back at Ambrose, and Ambrose kind of getting to his knee and panting and looking at them. He doesn't acknowledge them. He doesn't do anything. Yeah. Yeah. I know it's not supposed to happen right now, but I really would like to see maybe sometime in the next couple of weeks where Ambrose comes out with Rollins and Reigns in the ring, and Ambrose comes out and he just offers his head to them on a platter, and he just starts apologizing. He pleads his case about everything that he's done, how he was completely jealous of the two, and how he always felt like he was always the one that was saving them, and he never got anything in return. Well, now they finally returned the favor on him. He now sees the errors of his ways. Forgive me. Or, he just goes to his knees and waits for Rollins to stomp him. Or he waits for Reigns to punch him in the face. That's kind of what I'm anticipating here, is a come to Jesus moment. A little confessional moment for Ambrose here. Are we still anticipating a work that Ambrose will be gone after WrestleMania? It's absolutely a work. Yes, it is so much work. Absolutely. I'm trying to put my shot glass back up on my bottle of tequila because it's traumatizing me every time I look at it. Yes. So, yeah. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Fantasy booking on that coming up soon. It's weird that my fingers are showing that I get too close to the camera, and it does that. Lex, shrugging shoulders at creative. What are you going to do? You're going to predict what they're going to do. This is what you're going to do. Ebony, I love the saying come to Jesus meeting. Well, it is a come to Jesus meeting. It's like a confessional. It's like guys, I fucked up. Okay, but can you give me a break? Do you realize why I was like that? Can you blame me? Can you blame me? Bailey with Sasha Banks in tow versus Nia Jax with Tamina in tow. Yeah, Bailey won this one. Nothing to really go home about except that this was the finish. Bailey winning with a off-the-top rope elbow, pinning Nia Jax. Pinning Nia Jax. Pinning Nia Jax. I totally get it that these two teams are going to be, having a match for the titles at Fastlane. I totally get it. 2 weeks ago, you painted the picture at Elimination Chamber that Nia Jax is so unstoppable. She is such a force around everyone around her in the ring that the only way for other people to defeat her or defeat anything she's affiliated with is she needs to be incapacitated. She needs to go through a pod, and then they'll lose, and then her team will lose. But then 2 weeks later, you're going to have her pinned by an elbow drop. Nia Jax, twice the size of every female on this roster. She is a force to be reckoned with, and yet pinned by an elbow drop. I am not getting this. I am confused. I am very confused. I thought Nia Jax was the irresistible force. I thought that, I totally get her tapping out, okay? Don't be getting into arguments about oh, Doug, she tapped out to a sleeper hold. She tapped to an Oscar lock. She taps out. It's monsters tapping out happens, okay? That happens. But getting pinned by a top rope elbow drop, that does not happen. There should have been some more shenanigans in this match. I don't get this. Makes no sense. Like other things that don't make sense in professional wrestling. But Doug, you got to suspend your disbelief. But stop it. They painted the story and they've totally pitched it. Speaking of pitched stories, we got a lot of that going on in the milk carton. I'll get on that in a little bit. Ric Flair's 70th birthday celebration. Woo-hoo! Woo! Ric Flair. Big 7-0, you old fart. So we got lots of people on the ramp. We got lots of people in the ring. Everyone's making entrances to come out to celebrate. So, like, there's Ricky Steamboat giving everyone chops. Which is so cute. Which is so funny. Yeah, so we got that. We had Sting come out. We had Kurt Angle come out. We had Shawn Michaels come out. Yeah, Sting. Sting came out. Lex saying Sting gave Rollins the cold shoulder. I think he gives everyone the cold shoulder. Don't worry about it. Yeah, and now we're waiting for the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Triple H introduces him after a big, luxurious video segment. Come on out, birthday boy. Oh, shit, birthday boy. Oh, it's Blue Tista with the blue sunglasses. He didn't mean to do that, did he? Hey, Hunter, do I have your attention now? Apparently, he dragged Ric Flair out of his locker room and beat him up. stuff. And, hey, do I have your attention now? Yeah. All right. My thoughts. Batista says, "Hey Hunter, do I have your attention now?" Hey Dave, when were you trying to get his attention? When? I mean, I know you were on the 1000th episode of SmackDown, but I mean, that was a long time ago since you made the comment that Triple H had never beaten you. That did get Triple H's attention. But between then and now, what have you done to get his attention or to elicit any kind of eye contact or any kind of reaction from Triple H? Paul Levesque has not said anything about you since that 1000th episode. I don't know why you're asking if you've gotten his attention. I don't. Yeah, Lex is painted. Yeah, so the guy that pointed out Triple H never beat him comes back to give him another shot. For what purpose? Well, it's not as much the doing another shot and why. It's not just that. It's my thing is, hey Hunter, do I have your attention now? What is, huh? Maybe the clues are in Batista's movies, Andrew says. I've got a feeling we'll learn more in the next few shows. Who knows? My big thing is I really don't know who the good guy or the bad guy is in this one. Batista Triple H, WrestleMania. Who's the good guy in this one? I mean, Batista made a nice, cute little joke on the 1000th episode of SmackDown, and so yeah, you treat him as the good guy, right? But then, he comes out and he beats up the birthday boy. So is he still the good guy? I don't know. I don't know. Sure. No, but don't get me wrong. It was very well done. It was very well produced. Got everyone's attention. Certainly got my attention. It was a great way to finish Raw. But it left me going, I don't know. Randy's saying because he's been pining to get another WWE deal, so I think this is a playoff real life. I don't know that. I don't know that he's been trying to get a WWE deal. That's why I'm like this. That's why I'm confused. I don't know if he's wanting to get another deal. Have I got your attention now? I guess that's something they'll try to explain next week, maybe. I don't know. That's the thing. I'm just confused. Okay, it was a really cool thing, but all right. After I caught about 5 minutes of Mike and Victoria's post-Raw show on Monday following Raw about how tremendous the poll was for this show, and it still is that way. Holy crap, 98% thumbs up. That's the highest I've ever seen a poll, ever. Out of a fair amount of votes, too. So, wow. Is it because is it because of Batista, or is it more because of Roman Reigns? Is it because of Becky Lynch? Is it because of a really good match with Fons Balor and Lio Rush? This was a very good episode of Raw. I would absolutely click the thumbs up on that. 262 votes out of this. 98% is thumbs up. 2%. So the 2% are like what? We're talking like 5 people? 5 people did not like this. 5 people did not like this. Okay? That's how many that is. So, not a bad episode. Not a bad episode. Chalice of Truth. Well, if you thought the episode of Raw was interesting, oh boy, wait until you get to the Blue Show. Wait until you get to the Blue Show. before we get into Blue Show talk, on Thursday, Matt Hardy on his Twitter account revealed that he had 11 days left on his contract. Why would this joker do such a thing? Well, he responded to a fan on Twitter after he posted this with a Throwback Thursday from 2014, showing that they were holding some MCW titles. And he talked about working dozens of territories, and it felt comfortable being outside of the WWE. Well, then a fan replied to him, the thinly veiled passive-aggressive threat to leave you will inevitably be forced to delete. Matt Hardy would reply to such tweet. Said, not a threat at all, just a fact. I have 11 days left on my current deal. I love WWE, but I'm 100% comfortable being outside the walls of pro wrestling's Alexandria safe zone. I'm a born survivalist. My previous tweet will never face deletion. Last September, Matt Hardy, after a live event at Corpus Christi, stated that would be his final scheduled appearance as a Woken Matt Hardy. A month prior, he revealed that he was battling issues with his lower back and pelvis fusing together. And then this past January, Hardy responded to a question from a fan on Twitter that he was not retiring anytime soon, that he was greenlit for his physical return. I bring all of this up for a reason. Alexandria, I don't know what he means by Alexandria. I know what the Library of Alexandria is, but I don't know. I understand Alexandria from The Walking Dead. I watch Walking Dead. I totally get that too. I guess that's what he was alluding to. Anyway, let's talk about the Blue Show. We were going to have a contract signing between Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston. And, whoa, hey, that's a Kevin Owens. There's a Kevin Owens. He's done bowling and going to the movies with his son. What is this all about? Okay, from Charlotte. Just wanted to let you know, yeah, SmackDown was in Charlotte yesterday. It was over at the Spectrum Center where the Charlotte Hornets play. Did I attend this show? No, I decided not to. Only because normally my work weeks, I normally have Tuesday and Wednesday nights off. And the shifts that I work, I rarely get to have dinner with Deanna, my girlfriend. And so Tuesday nights are the usual night that we get to have dinner together because I do the show on Wednesday. So, no, I decided not to go to SmackDown just for the sake of my relationship and keeping my girl happy. But, of course, I watched SmackDown after we had our dinner. So, yeah. Do I wish I was at this show? I don't know. I think I survived not going to this show. By the way, tickets for this show would have been about $15. If I wanted, the cheapest seats are $15, $20. They're in the second level seats that you can kind of see up here. They would be second level seats. They're about $15, $20. But I normally like to sit kind of around here in the I like to sit in the stands on camera side. I don't like to be opposite the camera. I want to be on the camera side so that I can kind of see not just the ring and the ramp, but also I've got the camera there. I can see all the production tables. And also at the top of my seating area is a bar where I can go ahead and get a scotch. I'm not even sitting at my seat most of the time. I'm just standing at the bar, looming over and watching everything that's unfolding. I like to have a good bird's eye view, but not too far up, of everything that's happening, and also somewhere where I can get a good drink. Because that's me, and it's my gimmick. But I didn't feel like spending the $50 for that ticket, because normally that ticket's about $50. So I decided, no, that's okay. I'd rather use that money to buy us a nice dinner to have. So, yeah, I didn't go to SmackDown. That's okay. I'd also rather go to house shows. House shows are so much fun. All right. Fastlane contract signing. Daniel Bryan going to be signing a contract with Kofi Kingston for their matches at Fastlane. Daniel Bryan signs the contract. Kofi Kingston's about to sign the contract when, wait a minute, Vince McMahon comes out. It's the microphone. Says that Kofi's extraordinary, but before his contract is official, he wants to tell him that he appreciates everything he's done. Truly remarkable. However, it's up to Vince to give the highest caliber of competition he possibly can. Therefore, Kofi is being replaced. Vince says he has no alternatives with a man that is more deserving, more qualified than Kofi. Vince says the man who will face Daniel Bryan at Fastlane is Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens walks out in front of a very, very disgusted and boisterous New Day, sits down in the chair, signs the contract, and there you go. Yeah. Andrew saying, I haven't been to a house show in so long, got to go to one again. Good job, good job. Gil saying, at least the show is realistic. Vince shooting down good ideas. I don't know about that. You know what? I think it's, we'll get to that on the whiteboard. After the contract signing, Owens is backstage with Stephanie and Shane McMahon. Kevin says he's happy their father recognizes his talents to the industry. Kevin asks them if they saw Bryan's smug face when they saw him. Kevin says he would like to team with the man who's just as deserving as facing Daniel Bryan. That is him and Kofi Kingston going against Daniel Bryan and Rowan. That's going to be their tag team main event because it is SmackDown. And that's what they do. CJ, oh man, WWE playing up to the IWC stereotypes is so good. Yes, I love it when the WWE trolls us. I really do. Okay? And you should never be offended by it at all. Okay? I love it when they troll us. That means they read what we're saying. They know what's going on. Okay? They love poking and prodding, okay? And I love being poked and prodded because I'm a perv. Sources. We got the bar in the ring. We got Cesaro and Sheamus. They said to do an open challenge to any tag team. Outplays the Hardys music, and out comes Matt and Jeff Hardy. Holy shit. Are you surprised? I'm moderately surprised because SmackDown's in Charlotte and Cameron, North Carolina, where Matt Hardy's compound is about a good hour and a half drive away. A lot of back roads. It's not a straight highway shot. So, I guess I should have seen it coming, you know. But yeah, Hardy Boys versus the Bar. And the Hardys win. Who'd have thunk it? Backstage, Ricochet is with Aleister Black and their team. They're just hanging out in the locker room because, yeah, that's what you kind of do. Lana comes up and talks shit to them. They talk shit back. So it's going to be Ricochet and Aleister Black facing Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay. Narrowly avoiding the milk carton, Rusev and Nakamura. Yeah. United States Open Challenge. R-Truth went out to give out an open challenge for the United States title, narrowly missing the milk carton again. I should have thought he was going to show up too because he lives in Charlotte. The guy was posting for the past week some really funny-ass tweets. Okay. If you are not following Ron Killings on Twitter, you really should. He's just fun. Just a fun guy. He was posting a lot of tweets going to Monroe High School, couple other high schools. He did a couple of funny sketches about action figures and stuff. So this does not surprise me. R-Truth coming out and he was just doing just like CJ said. What would John Cena do? He'd do an open challenge. And Andrade comes out first to answer the challenge, but then Rey Mysterio comes out. Both of them standing there. He goes like, man, yeah, what would John Cena do? Carmella says he'd go against both of them. Man, he brave. What would Ernest do? So, so we got a triple threat for the U.S. title. R-Truth, Rey Mysterio, and Andrade. This was a fun match. Okay. Not just because, Rey Mysterio and Andrade are just so fucking fun. But then when you throw in an extra body like R-Truth to just be a prop, like sitting on, like Andrade sitting on top of R-Truth's shoulders, and Rey Mysterio doing a top rope Hurricane Rana like a doomsday device. Yeah, that's why R-Truth was there. It was to do other spots that Rey and Andrade could do if an extra body were there to act as a mannequin, is what it was. But after all of this, R-Truth pinned Rey Mysterio. R-Truth picks up, and I'm just trying to get here, Andrade with a back elbow on Mysterio. He goes for the cover. Rey Mysterio kicks out. R-Truth picks Andrade up, but Mysterio pushes both men onto the ropes. Rey Mysterio with the 619 on Andrade. R-Truth rolled Mysterio to get the cover. And there you go. Andrade starts attacking Mysterio, goes for the DDT, but Mysterio gets out of it. He goes for the 619, but Andrade rolls to the outside. Fight forever is what everyone is going to be saying, but at one point, all of their moves are going to be wasted. And they're all wasted on these television matches. They aren't wasted. I want to take that back. It's not wasted on television matches, okay? These have been fantastic matches between Rey Mysterio and Andrade. These have been fantastic, okay? No one complaining about it. Pay-per-view level matches on TV, and there's nothing wrong with that. How do you compensate these two for these fantastic matches? You can't do it at WrestleMania because you've already done them. You can't do a best 2 out of 3. Hardcore rules are not meant for this match. Steel cage is not meant for this match. What do you do? I really don't know. Okay. These two guys just having matches for the sake of having matches and because they really, it's all about, what is it about? Andrade not respecting Rey Mysterio. These are good matches. Okay. Hair versus mask, CJ says. I can totally buy that. I can absolutely buy that. Yeah. That's all. Yeah. I was thinking way too stereotypical gimmicky matches. It's been a long time since we've had a hair match. A long time since we've had a hair match. Yeah. I can definitely buy that. You sold me. Charlotte Flair's music hits. She comes out. She talks shit about everybody, and that she should just get the Raw Women's title. And who are we in her city to, turn that down? I'm sold. Aleister Black and Ricochet versus Rusev and Nakamura. This was a commercial break match with Aleister Black and Ricochet getting the pin because you are not going to have these NXT guys lose. Not yet, anyway. Unless you're going to be building a program of some kind. AJ Styles is backstage. Talks about how he is his own harshest critic. Nothing's been said that he hasn't already said to himself, and anything less than perfection is a disappointment. And recently, he hasn't been at his best, and he is partly to blame for the rise of Daniel Bryan because he had his opportunity to stop Bryan, but he failed. But that doesn't mean he won't stop trying. It took him 15 years to get to the WWE, and nothing was ever given to him. This was the house that AJ Styles built. But then there's Randy Orton. And Orton says, it's the house that you what? And he walks away. Speaking of walk away, Lacey Evans walks down the ramp and then walks away. Finally, main event times for all the kids. Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Kevin Owens getting the pin on this on Daniel Bryan with a stone cold stunner and gets the win. Lots of other stuff happening in the match. But this is completely out of left field for me. Okay? Pop-up powerbomb was done once, but was kicked out of, but breaks out the stunner and wins. Kofi Kingston kind of almost put to the side. Rowan did showcase some of his size and kind of beat the crap out of him a little bit, but this is getting interesting. Not that it already got interesting, because Kofi's been butted out of the title picture, and now it's going to be Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens for the WWE title at Fastlane. But give it one more week and we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting here. Andrew asking, what's up with Lacey and not complaining about seeing her, but only a Rumble appearance? It's letting us know that she's there. That's all it is. All they're doing is really, I think they're just showing Lacey coming up and down the ramp, and inevitably she will attack Asuka. Inevitably she will attack Asuka is what's going to happen. So, what does the poll say for the SmackDown shows? 82% thumbs up. This is the first week I have ever done this show for over a year, and both of these shows had over 75% positivity in the polls on the Twitter. First time ever. First time ever. I'm not saying it should happen all the time. The reasons that it happened are pretty well warranted. Lots of happy stuff happened on Raw. Lots of surprising stuff happened on SmackDown with the return of Kevin Owens, with a fantastic triple threat match. I mean, yeah. What are you going to do? I mean, no complaints here. I'm just kind of surprised. Oh, yeah, by the way, have you seen EC3 recently? Just throwing that out there. Gil's kind of reminded me of that. At least Lacey isn't losing on main event like EC3. I just want to know what's happening with Lars. I want Lars Sullivan. That's what I want. I hope he's gotten his act together and he's going to show up and beat the shit out of someone. I really like his theme song. But, all right. That's the Red and the Blue show. Pretty good shows. Pretty good shows. I can't wait. I really do want to. I hope they get on the network soon, that I can go ahead and backtrack and watch them again for those matches. Those are really good matches. But anyway, time for the news. You like the transitions? I like the transitions too. I think they help me out in spacing out this show a lot. Sipping on the sources. As stated earlier, the WWE confirmed the releases of Hideo Itami and Ty Dillinger last Friday. In items both reported over the last few weeks, WWE confirmed these releases. Dillinger issued a statement on Twitter announcing that he had requested his release from the company after nearly 6 years with them. Late January news broke that Hideo Itami requested his release and would be granted it. An episode of 205 Life profiled his final weeks with the WWE. Their official statements, pretty much they came to terms on their releases. No bitterness between those two, I don't think. Hideo Itami was getting homesick, and he was so injury prone, the poor guy. Ty Dillinger, injury prone as well. There was just nothing really going for him, and it's okay. I mean, you want to make the arguments of AEW and Ty Dillinger, go right ahead. But, no, Itami, he's going to, or Kenta, we'll just go ahead and call him Kenta, because that's what he was in New Japan. He's going back to Japan. Will he be wrestling full-time? That has yet to be seen. I don't see him doing anything here stateside. I don't see him doing anything stateside at all. Also, we have an update on, there was another release from the WWE, and that was of TJP. It was reported yesterday, and that would be the 22nd. That was also on Friday. The WWE announced the release of just TJP. He went on the Twitter saying, "Thanks for giving me a chance and letting me play for the team I grew up watching." This guy is incredibly young. So much potential. He has the world for his taking. He can do whatever he wants. Okay? he went to AEW, I wouldn't blame him. But this guy is made to go to New Japan, or he can make a name for himself in Mexico. Put on a mask. Go nuts. Okay? But I think there's a home for him over in Japan. He could go to New Japan and make a great name for himself, go under a different moniker, just go under Perkins, something like that. You could take the place of the Will Ospreay, who has now left their light heavyweight division and has gone to heavyweight division. So you could take his place, It's ripe for the taking, Why not? Another release that happened earlier this week on Friday was the letting go of Arn Anderson, who is no longer assuming the backstage role as a producer. It was first reported by Pro Wrestling Sheet. He was let go after spending time with the WWE for nearly 18 years. No details are known at this time as to why Anderson was let go. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame back in 2012 with the Four Horsemen. Company did sign a number of new backstage producers, many new producers, including Jeff Jarrett, Chris Parks, known as Abyss, Sanjay Dutt, Sean Davari, and Shane Hurricane Helms. 5 new producers, including one more that we will go over in another bit of news. But Rusev tweeted out, regarding Anderson's departure, "Thank you, AA, for teaching me and letting me sit under the learning tree." No ill will, I'm sure. The guy's just retiring. He's tired of traveling. The guy lives right here in Lake Norman. In North Carolina, where I live, I always mention Charlotte is where I live, but I actually live in a suburb outside of Charlotte, about 20 miles north, called Mooresville. And in Mooresville, in between Mooresville and Charlotte, of that 20-mile span along I-77, is Lake Norman. It is home to NASCAR drivers, former professional wrestlers, retired sports athletes. I mean, they are everywhere around here, okay? And Arn Anderson is one of them, alongside Ricky Steamboat. And Tully Blanchard. They live here in Lake Norman, okay? He's just tired of traveling. He's just retiring. He's not going anywhere else, So hold your horses on saying he's going to be doing anything substantial. The guy just wants to relax. Look at him, too. I mean, I know how he sounds and everything, but he looks like Terry Bradshaw. And if Terry Bradshaw had the chance, he would retire right now. Okay? But over here in Lake Norman, we are full of NASCAR drivers, retired athletes, and professional wrestlers. Braun Strowman has a home here on Lake Norman. Yeah. I mean, they're all here. Okay? You got to swat them away like flies. You'll run into them in the grocery store. I'm serious. You'll run into them in the grocery store. But I'm not one to approach them. Okay, it's their life. I'm not. Oh, hey, Arn, I see you like. Oh, you like lettuce too. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. So yeah. And Andrew saying it sounds like Tampa and St. Petersburg. Yeah, a lot of people retire more around here. Around the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida, because the weather is fucking phenomenal. But you also kind of want to be left alone. They want to be left alone. I think you get that more here than you do in Georgia or Florida. Because here we're kind of used to it. Dale Earnhardt Jr., we see him all the time. Seriously. Retired NBA and football players. Robert Parrish lives here. Kevin McHale lives here. A lot of I'm just mentioning Celtics now. The former, he's passed away, Reggie White lived here. So many live in this area. And I would love to, I would not mind doing interviews with people like Arn Anderson and those that have retired and everything, but at the same time, I'm just trying to respect their privacy. I'm not one to butt in on people. Okay, I'm really not. Okay, I'm just one of those that and maybe I kind of like how I am when I'm at All In, and I'm walking around with a bottle of wine. Hey, you want to have a drink? That's how I am. Okay, I don't like doing a lot of stuff that's official. It's really difficult too being a part of the professional wrestling media on the internet and trying to have credibility to talk to people. It's tough. It's really, really tough. So that's why I'm trying to build the gimmick that I've got the sources. And I just want to enjoy the time and shoot the shit. Hey, who am I? Oh, well, yeah, who at Wrestleview would actually want to butt in? I don't know. No. It's different here. It's completely different here. That's why at All In, being around all those pro wrestlers that I was very apprehensive to butt in. I mean, sure, I had great conversations with SoCal Val, but that was unwarranted. I didn't solicit it. I just got sucked into conversation. And that's kind of how I am. You know, I just like being sucked into conversations. I could not wear a fedora in a press pass. I just could not do that. The other producer that was brought into the WWE was Bruce Pritchard. Who'd have thunk it? Mr. Brother fucking Love. PW Insider reporting that Bruce Pritchard has agreed on terms for a full-time return to the WWE as part of the company's creative team. Pritchard is expected to start as early as the Raw taping in Atlanta, so he's there. He was let go back in 2008 after spending 16 years with the WWE in a role where he reported directly to Vince McMahon and was described as one of his top lieutenants. He transitioned to a backstage role with TNA in 2010, later parting ways in 2013. Pritchard briefly returned to the company in 2017 after it was purchased by Anthem. Pritchard's podcast, alongside with Conrad Thompson, called Something to Wrestle With, would go on to become one of the most popular wrestling podcasts out there today. WWE ended up creating a spin-off version of the podcast for the WWE Network. It was on there. I think it only lasted 6 or 7 episodes. But now, Pritchard is back, full-time creative writing with the WWE. Bear in mind, he was let go in 2008, and that was within 16 years of being with the company. So he ended in 2008. You really want to do some research here? Check out WrestleManias and Random Raws. Watch Random Raw episodes probably in the final 3 years of his tenure and the first 3 years of his departure. And see if you can find differences. Am I talking to myself of kind of a research project I want to do? We're going to study the effects of Bruce Pritchard on next week's show. Well, no, we can't do that because that's the go-home episode. This is a project, okay? This is a project I'm going to do. I will have the results of this sometime soon, okay? But I think this would be really interesting. I mean, am I the only... Please, speak up in the chat room. Send me a message of some kind. I think this would be a great research idea here. What kind of influence did Bruce Pritchard have on the WWE? But it's not fair to give his entire 16, 17-year career with them. It's got to be more about comparing the final 3 years and the next 3 years when he was gone, okay? You guys can help me out too with this one, okay? Ebony, if he had anything to do with WrestleMania 07 or 08, they need him back. That is damn right. You're damn right on that one. Everyone who's listening right now. Okay, so once again, Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard. I'm pulling a Karen Bourbon. Bruce Pritchard was let go in 2008. Okay, so WWE Network subscription between 2005 and 2008. Just look up some random episodes of Monday Night Raw or a random pay-per-view, and you'll reminisce about what was happening during those times. It happens to me all the time, okay? Grab a random episode and see if you can identify what the programs were, what was going on at the time, what the compelling storylines were, okay? And then look from the time span between 09 and 11. what was going on then. Random episodes of Raw and Smackdown, a random pay-per-view. What were the programs? Who was being built? I would really like to see what kind of an impact Bruce Pritchard, as a member of the creative team, had on the WWE product. Everyone's been bitching for the past 6 months that the TV product with the WWE has been abysmal. They've added now Bruce Pritchard, who has been a stalwart of their company for 16 years, along with 5 new producers who are all very young in the producer role, but have been in the wrestling business for a very long time. What kind of an impact are we going to see here when it comes to the product that we're going to ingest? Okay? We have not seen this kind of investment in creative writing talent, in scouting talent, in agent talent in a very long time. It has been a very, very long time. Andrew said it, more wrestlers than TV writers is good. Absolutely. Okay? I don't think we'll really see an impact with these new hires as producers for maybe another 2 years. You need to give them a 2-year curve. Just like if you were hiring a new head coach for a college athletics team, you got to get your scouting team down, and then your recruiting team down, and then you have your brand new freshmen coming in. That's what I'm looking at right now with this, okay? It's like Bruce Pritchard has been brought in as the head coach. He's brought in his offensive, defensive coordinators. He's brought in his scouts and everybody, and now it's time to let loose, okay? Quentin saying, watch a Raw before and after Bruce Pritchard and see what the changes are. No, not necessarily. Well, that's kind of what I'm talking about, is look, what I'm saying, Quentin and everyone in the chat room, is between 05 and 08, a random pay-per-view, a random episode of Raw or SmackDown or anything, okay? Just watch it. And I'm not saying pay attention to the matches. I'm not saying pay attention to the talent. Pay attention to how the show is structured, what segments are done, and what programs are being done. Programs, I mean what the feuds are, okay? And it should click in your mind, and I'm gathering most of you have been watching this stuff for as long as I have, or at least as far back as 2000, okay? When you watch this, you will be sucked back to what was going on at that time, okay? And you will immediately know, okay, these were the programs going on. These were the champs. These were the titles. This was the grudge match. That was the big thing. What was the title match? There you go. Do the same thing in between the span of 09 and 12. Random episode of Raw or SmackDown or a pay-per-view. And just go over it. Just watch it. See how it's booked. Don't worry about the matches, okay? Don't worry about how the matches were, how the wrestlers were, and, what spots were done and all that shit. I'm just talking about booking and writing, because that's what we really talk about the most here, because we aren't professional wrestlers. We're only physically writers. Yeah. Which, by the way, that's what we are. That's what everyone wishes to be. Every pro wrestling fan wishes they were part of the creative team and wishes that they were this Joker right here. Seriously, everyone. Dave Meltzer wishes he was Bruce Pritchard. Okay? And yes, don't pay attention to the women's matches. It was completely different. Yeah, you can do, the differences between now and then. Okay? And you know what to eliminate. Okay? It's more about how everything was booked, how everything was constructed. This is going to be a really good project, okay? I will fill you guys in on what I've been watching and everything. You guys do the same with me. Get with me on my Twitter, @DougWrestleview. This sounds like a really fun project, okay? We're going to call this the Pritchard Project. Yes, the Pritchard Project. Nerds. Okay. Speaking of the brand new producers, here they are: Jeff Jarrett, Chris Parks, Sanjay Dutt, Sean Davari, and Shane Helms. All part of the production team now. Andrew, oh, I'd book something horrible. I know. We would all book something horrible. Naomi! Okay. So, dear heart, last Friday, Naomi decided to comment more about the Detroit incident with her husband, Jimmy Uso, and the disorderly conduct charges. I'm just going to go straight to her Twitter. 1,001 people were talking about this. It was posted at 9:30 in the morning on a Friday. She's got a hashtag blocked on there for someone, I don't know who. But she says, I was not ticketed. I was not drinking. Leaving the lot, I was unaware that it exits to a one-way street. It was dark, snow, no signs, no traffic. I was pulled immediately, made a mistake, and I own it. As for my husband, he's more of a man than you'll ever be, and I'll leave it at that. Look, I'm not in the wrestling world, and I know you guys travel a lot. You've got rental cars, you barely sleep, you ache, you hurt. I totally get it. But the number one thing that you should never do is comment publicly about police charges or criminal charges. It does not help your case. I'm not saying this out of experience because I've never experienced it, though there's plenty in the news now that can tell you that, yeah, you should not comment on them publicly on Twitter. Maybe that's why you weren't on the show this week. Maybe it's me. I don't know. It could be me. It's just an observation. Just a casual observation. Pop TV is some rinky-dink channel that you'll maybe find on your satellite provider or cable provider if you have either. If you don't, that's okay. You don't even need to pay attention to the story because you're a smart one because you're saving money. Pop TV president talked about why Impact was dropped from their network last year. This is fascinating. Deadline.com is featuring an interview with Pop TV president Brad Schwartz. Your Schwartz is as big as mine. Where he talks about the channel rebranding in 2018. Rebranding? I don't even know what the hell you are. And moving forward without wrestling. Back in October of last year, Impact had announced a sudden time slot change on Pop TV. A few weeks later, it was announced they would be leaving Pop TV in favor for the Pursuit channel. The Pursuit channel is an incredible offshoot on cable television and satellite TV, where the only 3 words you need to know of any of the programming they have are Alaska, goats, and trucks. That's all you need to know. The company would also begin to simulcast Impact every Friday on Twitch, which is actually a very smart move on their part. Schwartz confirmed that dropping wrestling programming along with daytime soap operas was part of a new initiative of the channel for this year of 2019. He says, quote, we had a wrestling show every Thursday night, which, by the way, was one of our 10 highest rated shows on the network. Highest rated on them is not very high. They wanted to keep going, obviously. It was 2 hours of original content every Thursday night, 52 weeks a year. That would do 400,000 to 500,000 viewers every Thursday night. If you're lucky, that's my if you're lucky is my additional. It's not his quote. We had to really start focusing on brand and expectation. And I think if you're going to pitch yourself and tell audiences that you're this place for premium content like Schitt's Creek and Flack and Florida Girls, this type of stuff, then people need to know what to expect from you when they come to the channel. We wanted to really focus in our core demo. Soaps, as much as it's a big total audience number, is older. It's a lot of 65 plus. Yeah. So he basically talked more about how he was pitching the soap opera idea because there were a lot of AARP members watching that in the 65 or older range. But after that, there was no place for wrestling on this Pop TV station that's going on. So right now, Impact is still having fun on the Alaska Ghost Truck channel. and Twitch. I'm surprised. I can't believe they're still around. I can't believe people are still giving them credit or putting them out there. Yeah. Yeah. Lex talking about Paramount TV. Oh, yeah, that's a separate channel. Paramount is separate from Pop TV. Okay. Paramount is their own entity. Okay. And they want nothing to do with wrestling. They don't want anything to do with wrestling. Paramount has way more an extensive library of programming. They don't need to sign anything else. They don't need original programming. Okay. They've got their own shit. Jack Swagger, the guy who won his first MMA fight, said that Vince McMahon texted him before his MMA debut. The advice Vince McMahon gave him before his MMA debut, he sent me a text message, quote, and told me not to lose kind of as a haha. But I think it was really cool. We had R-Truth doing the entrance, and we went to Vince, and Vince said, yeah, go do it, man. Go out there and support this guy. I think it was like everyone else. They came in and supported me and wanted to help me, and I'm very humbled and honored. Yep, R-Truth came out and he rapped for him for his entrance. I mean, it is a far, far cry from 10 years ago what Vince McMahon was with his talent and then branching out and doing things and what they're doing now. Because back then, yes, Vince would never want any of his talent to be going to other entities and doing stuff without his approval. Okay? You would never think the WWE would have contracts with other wrestling organizations, but they do now. The reason they do now is because of the media outlets. Andrew saying that Vince has loosened up. Vince has loosened up because media has loosened up. Media has loosened up a ton. It's not just back then it was only radio and TV. The internet has exploded. Way more outlets to promote your talent. That is actually now reliable and credible because that outlet has been there for so long. The internet has really, let's go ahead. If we want to say the birth of the internet was, I guess, when I started doing term papers in high school, 1994. So the internet is basically 25 years old. The internet has been a 25-year-old media outlet, like TV and radio, okay? So back then, yeah, dear God, McMahon and WWE would never send anyone out to do anything that's internet related. We don't know what the hell you are. 25 years later, it's still around. Companies after the internet bust of 98 are around. It's flourishing. Ask Bezos, Google, Amazon. Take your pick. The internet is flourishing. It is now the number one communications form. It is. Radio is dead. TV will die in the next 15, 20 years. It will. Everything will be done via computer. You will see the integration of television into computer. It will happen. And McMahon understands this. He understood this about 3 or 4 years ago. No, he understood this 8 years ago as he slowly invested into creating the WWE network. That's how it is. Anyone who bitches about TV ratings does not understand what's happening right now. Yep. It's a fact. CJ saying you're already seeing that integration? Oh, yeah. Oh, smart TVs and HTPCs? Oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Oh, you just wait. Oh, you just wait. In 5 years, and I'm being here I am with my predicting. I'm not locking this, but it's me being a salesman, but talking to reps within Samsung and Sony and everyone else, and also internet companies like Sprint and AT&T. Within 4 or 5 years, you're going to see those all-in-one PCs that, used to be the kind of thing are going to be 32-inch and then grow to 42-inch, then 50. They'll come equipped with a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. They will integrate to your cell phone. They already are. They're already going to built in with apps and everything to get you hooked up and everything. It's happening. Okay? The internet is going to be your form of communication and entertainment for everything. And just to give you a heads up, and oh my God, am I straying away from Jack Swagger getting the text from Vince right now. But if there's one thing you really need to pay attention to when it comes to governmental regulation and FCC and everything else, look up Spectrum auctions. Remember when we were converted to digital signal and we got rid of analog? Digital Spectrum auctions is what you need to pay attention to. Seriously. Spectrum auctions. Look them up. I'm just going to leave it at that. Aleister Black last week bid farewell to NXT at a event over at Daytona Beach. Don't know if I really want to play this, but yeah, he just said he just bid farewell to NXT. Does that mean he's going to the main roster? I'm not sure. CJ makes me wish people would listen about how TV barely matters. Well, you need to get outside of the bubble because most people don't talk about TV anyway. Oh, time for Law and Order. Time for some weird law talk. Are you ready for some law talk? Because here we go. Jeff Jarrett and GFE filed a second lawsuit over Impact deleting 16 hours of GFW footage. This is a good one, folks. Buckle in. This is a good one. This was a report that came out Monday. PW Insider is reporting that Jeff Jarrett and Global Force Entertainment have filed a second amended lawsuit against Anthem and Impact Wrestling over Anthem's recent admission that they had deleted 16 hours of GFW amped footage. That is Global Force Wrestling, quote, amped footage. The 33-page lawsuit alleges that Anthem prevented Jarrett and GFE from filing copyrights on the GFW amped television footage, adding, quote, the last remaining step in the registration process is submission of deposit copies, which GFE cannot provide to the Copyright Office due to defendants' unlawful possession and or deletion of the only master recordings of the 16 one-hour GFW amped photos. Defendants admit that the master recordings were deleted while in their custody and no longer exist. As part of the amended lawsuit, a response from Anthem filed on November the 30th of last year, revealed that the footage has now been deleted when answering a previous request from Jarrett and GFE to produce specific documents and information. They said, quote, the 16 one-hour episodes of GFW amped content sought in this question no longer exist. It was deleted in the normal course of business, no longer prior to the onset of this litigation in order to free up storage space on Anthem Wrestling's systems. Night, Ebony. The amended lawsuit values, this is a hoot. This is an absolute hoot. The amended lawsuit values that GFW amped TV footage being worth $300,000 an episode, alleging that a loss of nearly $5 million in connection with the master tapes being deleted by Anthem. Jarrett right now is a backstage producer with WWE. This again going to Jeff Jarrett's sole purpose of starting Impact was doing copywriting, patents, shit like that. That was how he would get his money, his copyrights. Jeff, just stop. Just stop. Okay? You've got a good thing going right now. You've been brought into the company that, didn't want shit to do with you, and you didn't want shit to do with them well over 15 years ago. Just stop. You've got a good thing going. Okay? Little report here previous Monday by Alliance of American Football originally planned to buy the XFL name from WWE and NBC. Darren Rovell of the Action Network and formerly of ESPN revealed details about a new lawsuit filed against Charlie Ebersol and the Alliance of American Football. The lawsuit filed by Robert Vanich claims it was his idea to come up with the league and feels he is entitled to 50% ownership, noting that a previous agreement with Ebersol was ignored and that he now wants to be compensated to his contribution. The most interesting aspect of the lawsuit was that Ebersol and AAF officials had originally planned to use the XFL name and purchase its assets from the WWE and NBC for an estimated $50 million. WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon also met with AAF executives and decided to bring back the XFL instead, which is going to relaunch next year. Andrew saying the AAF also had to borrow money. Wow. This reveals a lot about why Vince resurrected the XFL. It wasn't to compete. It wasn't to be a Republican conservative, photo negative to the NFL. It's because he thought that he could make more money instead of being bought out by Ebersol and CBS. That's fucking amazing. This will be something interesting to look into in the 3 years from now. Who knows if the Alliance of American Football is going to be around in the next 2 years? We don't know. I don't know if they're still on TV after the first 2 weeks of shows that they've done. Hey, WWE. I'm not sure if they're going to still be around, but it would still be interesting to see. Jim Ross says The Undertaker taking bookings outside of the WWE is not a big story. I am not going to read more into that because I totally agree with him. Update on the potential announced location for WrestleMania 36 next year in 2020. Where could it be? PW Insider is reporting that Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, the home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is in the running for the WrestleMania 36 next year. Yeah, that's in the running. We're going to have a giant fucking pirate ship in the background when we're doing WrestleMania. Holy hell. Imagine the size of the screen that the WWE is going to have to come up with to block the fucking pirate ship to do WrestleMania. Minneapolis has remained under another city speculated to host WrestleMania in the coming years. Last October, WWE officials attended the Vikings game to discuss WrestleMania coming to US Bank Stadium in either 2020 or 21. I know I've made fun of, and he's not in the chat room right now, I made fun of Goose, who was my chauffeur at All In. I've made fun of Goose in the prior that WrestleMania would never come to Minnesota. Because who in the hell would want to go to Minnesota in April? It's pretty fucking cold. But that stadium is fucking magnificent. I would much rather go to US Bank Stadium in Minnesota than go to the pirate ship in Tampa. Okay? I would much rather go there. Double E saying, I'm from Iowa, so I feel you. Well, I'm glad that you can relate. I'm in the Carolinas. I'm not feeling anything that you're feeling. Guess what? We got to talk about other things. It is time. We have updates to the injury list because so many people are no longer injured. Jason Jordan with a neck injury, he has been backstage. We don't know if he is still capable of performing or not. Sami Zayn, torn rotator cuff on both shoulders. He's not due back until WrestleMania times. Fandango, torn labrum. He should have been back by now. Don't know what's going on with him. Luke Harper, wrist surgery. He should be coming back sometime, and we're doing some fantasy booking on that shit. Akam, knee surgery. He's not going to be back until May. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at, is about May or June. Ember Moon, emergency elbow surgery after Royal Rumble. We have no idea what's going on there. Who knows if she's going to show up in time for WrestleMania, which is sad. And finally, Mustafa Ali, concussion issues and such. No word yet if he's been cleared or not, and Kofi Kingston is happy about that. But those are the injuries. That's everyone who's hurt. But what about the people who aren't hurt? What about the people who haven't been on TV for about, 3 weeks maybe? Well, that, sip of the sources because they're such good sources. Those people who are not hurt and haven't been on TV for 3 weeks, they end up on the milk carton. You're going to love this shit. If it can work. I want you to work right now. Damn it. I'm pressing the wrong button because I already had 2 shots of tequila. I need to find me some stupid music to go along with that GIF. It took me a while to find that GIF. This is the WWE Milk Carton. These are the performers who have not been on TV for 3 weeks and are perfectly healthy. What the fuck is going on here? Alicia Fox. She has not been on TV since February the 4th, where she teamed up with Nikki Cross to face Sasha Banks and Bayley. We haven't seen her. Apollo Crews, he hasn't been on TV since he was giving Kurt Angle a high five and a bro hug backstage when Kurt Angle was coming out to saying that he was trying to reclaim something or he was going to retire. Yeah, we haven't seen him since then. This is not about Akam. Akam is hurt, but it's more about Razar because he approached Apollo on that February 4th episode of Raw talking about Kurt Angle, and we haven't seen him since, alongside Drake Maverick. So, what the, I don't know. B-Team, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas. We have not seen them since a fatal 4-way tag team match on February the 4th to determine who would be the #1 contender for the Raw tag team titles that the Revival inevitably won and got those titles. Dana Brooke. We got to talk about Dana Brooke here. She has not been seen since February the 4th episode of Raw, where she approached Natalya backstage with Natalya having earbuds in her ear, talking about how she challenged Natalya to a match after they had lost their tag team match to qualify for the Elimination Chamber tag team women's tag team. We haven't seen her in 3 weeks. She was involved in a program that never appeared. Andrew saying she was on the stage for Flair. I know, but I didn't. That doesn't count. Okay? People who appeared on the stage for Flair don't count. Okay? Johnny Gargano hugging Shawn Michaels backstage for the Flair thing, that counts. You're a lumberjack in a lumberjack match, that counts. Battle Royale, that counts. Because they're mentioning your name is the #1 thing. Dana Brooke, we haven't mentioned your name in 3 weeks. I'm concerned. Mickie James, we haven't seen you since you gave Kurt Angle a hug backstage 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Dana Dana's dealing with Enos Kanter being signed by the Portland Trailblazers, CJ says. I don't follow the NBA. I don't know what's going on there. All I know is the NHL. My Canes are getting in the playoffs. And Bob Callis in Canada thinks they're a bunch of jerks. But yeah, Mickie James. We haven't seen her in 3 weeks since she hugged Kurt Angle backstage. No way, Jose, after being snuffed by Kurt Angle backstage on February the 4th, he hasn't been seen either. I fucking love that. I fucking love that. Look up that February 4th episode of Monday Night Raw. Kurt Angle walking backstage. He gives Apollo a hug, gives Mickie James a hug, and no way, Jose. Hi. Fucking fantastic. Slater and Rhino. Haven't seen them since they were seen backstage in a queue trying to get dibs for a title match in front of Vince McMahon's locker room. Yeah, haven't seen those two since. Gallows and Anderson, they had a match on February the 5th against Rusev and Nakamura on SmackDown. I don't know where they are. I don't know where they've gone. I'd like to know where they are. I'm doing the same vocal tone as Donald Trump. Bork Laser. Pretty simple. Haven't seen him since, I think it was Elimination Chamber. No, we haven't seen him since a segment involving Seth Rollins and himself on January 28th. And we probably aren't going to see him until the Raw post-Elimination Chamber. So it's probably going to be another 2 weeks that we'll be seeing him on the milk carton. Shelton Benjamin, we haven't seen you since the Royal Rumble on January 27th, and I'm pretty damn well sure you're not missed. Dolph Ziggler, same thing. You keep doing your stand-up, and I hope you've learned from Mick Foley. You're not funny. Titus O'Neil. Now, look, I know he appeared for Ric Flair's birthday. He was there on stage. He was walking backstage. I totally get it. But no, I do not count him getting off the milk carton. They didn't mention him by name. Here's the thing. He's too busy saving the planet. All right? He's too busy giving people free stuff and making them better people. So I got no problem with him. He has every right to not be on WWE TV. Tyler Breeze, he's been doing stuff alongside Xavier Woods and doing a lot of up, down stuff. He's done a lot of PR stuff with conventions for the WWE. He is finding plenty of work and plenty of outside income. He is not going to lose a spot on this main roster. If there is another cleansing of some kind on the roster, he is not going to be seen. So, no. Just because you haven't seen him on TV doesn't mean anything. Primo and Epico Cologne, we have not seen them since what? I've got to look on my thing. Survivor Series, November 18th. I don't think it would matter if we heard an announcement from them, you know? But I also think that they would serve a major purpose in scouting and agents and coaching. So it's okay if we haven't heard from them. But this guy, the stalwart of the milk carton, everyone keeps talking about him on the Twitter. When's he going to come back? When's he going to make an appearance? Here he is. Bray Wyatt. SummerSlam. August 19th. We haven't seen him since. I'm with you, Andrew, in the chat. I've given up on Bray. I don't know when he's showing up. He's still under contract. I don't know what's going on. Could he have been injured? They wanted him to lose weight? Who knows, okay? I'm not worried about it anymore. I can't put him into my fantasy booking conjectures, okay? CJ saying we need to enshrine this as the Bray Wyatt milk carton. No. There's no enshrining. I'd rather enshrine No Way Jose on the milk carton. He was a fantastic, fantastic stalwart of the milk carton. WWE saying they better not repackage him. I don't see a repackaging of Bray Wyatt. I see Bray Wyatt being the original Bray Wyatt character that he's always been. When? I don't know. I'll make some guesses. Yeah. I'll make that guess when we get into our next segment right here, because it's going to be coming up real close. Because that is the end of the milk carton. That is everyone right there. There are a lot of additions to the milk carton. And it's all because we had NXT startups. It's because we're pushing Batista Triple H. It's because we're bringing back Kevin Owens on SmackDown. You know, fuck Asuka. It is time to bust out the WWE whiteboard. Oh my God. Cue up the weird looking transition. Here I am. Hi, how are you? I've got to reverse the cam because it's going to look really, really weird when I post up this big fucking board that I have because I want you to be able to read it in the same direction. Okay? Okay. So, time to break out the board. Can we put Meltzer on the milk carton? He's never on TV. Do we want to find him? We don't want to tell people he's missing, do we? All right. So, to intro this segment, as some of you should know, over at WWE headquarters in Stamford, they have a tremendous whiteboard where they have written down what they want to book for WrestleMania. And they do this well in advance. Well in advance. WrestleMania has already been booked in their eyes, and they will stick to it unless crank on the red button emergency. So, what we have done is we've constructed our own WrestleMania whiteboard to try to book WrestleMania. We tried booking this immediately following Royal Rumble is when we started booking this. Well, actually, no, the week before Royal Rumble is when we started booking this. So, here we go. There's going to be a lot of changes to this because holy shit, a lot of people came back. Hoist up the prop. Hoist up the prop. Here we go. As you can see, number one. Bork Seth, we already predicted that fucker. That's going good. WWE title ladder clusterfuck. We might do something about that. Ronda, Becky, Charlotte, iced down pretty much. Asuka, what the fuck's going on? Intercontinental title clusterfuck. Don't know. AJ RKO. We're going to change that. Raw tag team clusterfuck. SmackDown tag team clusterfuck. Miz versus Shane. We're going to keep that sucker. Women's tag team. We have no idea. Dean Triple H hardcore match? No, we're going to be changing that. So, here's what we're going to do immediately. I've got to make space. Got to make space here for the fantasy booking. So, look. We can pretty much already say, legitimately, Triple H Batista, right? All right. So that's what we're going to put in that final slot. We're going to do Triple H Batista. Where's my marker? There's my marker. We're doing Triple H Batista. Hardcore match? No DQ? I'll make it a no DQ. Triple H Batista. No DQ. My handwriting is sloppy after 2 shots of tequila and some 10.2 ABV. Okay. The other one I want to get rid of is this AJ Styles RKO match. I'm getting rid of this one. This needs a different match. This needs a different match of some kind. So we said Dean Ambrose was not, Dean Ambrose, he's trying to figure out his contract and everything, and he needs to be doing something. Are we having Roman Reigns in this show? What about Braun? We can't have Seth with him. What, Doug? What are you talking about here, Doug? What are you doing? What are you doing here? Huh? What are you doing? Well, what I'm alluding to is we need a storyline involving Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and the entire faction that's going against them. Elias, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin. So what do? It's going to be a 3-on-3. CJ saying Lash, Drew, Karen versus Reigns, Ambrose, Braun. That's kind of what I'm looking at. It's going to be a pseudo Shield versus another, and Baron's boys. That's a good way to term it, Andrew. Yeah, so we're going to call that pseudo Shield versus Baron's boys. And that takes care of a good 6 people who would be on this show that we're worried about. Okay? Also, WWE title ladder clusterfuck. I'm eliminating that right now. Because I got a feeling we aren't getting it for Fastlane, but we're sure as hell going to get it for WrestleMania. Man, did they do a good job of pumping this. Would you like Daniel Bryan Kofi at WrestleMania? Would you like it more when Harper is brought back into the fold and alongside Bryan and Rowan? I got other plans. Well, I know that it's weird that I'm just taking out Kevin Owens in that thing, but I've got a feeling Kevin Owens is going to be somewhere else. So, Brian Kofi. Brian Kofi is what I'm going to put. Brian Kofi. All right. Brian Kofi for the heavyweight titles is what I've got. Also, so we got Ronda, Becca, Charlotte going for the Raw WWE title. We've had Asuka in question marks ever since we started this goddamn thing. I've got to ice this down now. It needs to be iced down. It has to be iced down. Asuka needs a match. And it cannot be a clusterfuck. It's not going to be a clusterfuck. Nah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm talking to all of you in there. Yeah, that's what it is. It's Asuka Lacey. Yeah, it's Asuka Lacey. Yeah. With how many times she's been walking down the ramp and not doing shit, yeah, it's gonna happen. Yeah, so I'll do Asuka Lacey. Okay. I'm gonna stick with Miz and Shane. I'm pretty sure Miz and Shane is gonna happen. Tag team clusterfuck matches everywhere is what I'm looking at. Take your pick on who's gonna be involved. It doesn't matter. Women's tag team doesn't. The big one I'm looking at though, Intercontinental title clusterfuck. I'm going to now change that into a ladder match. It always seems that the Intercontinental title always becomes a ladder match at WrestleMania. It happened last year with Zack Ryder winning it. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. So, yeah. Yeah. I think we got a nice little update right there. Andrew saying Amanda and Sonya in women's tag. Two other teams of women in the women's tag. It doesn't matter. Okay? Clusterfucks abound in the tag team matches. It doesn't matter. It's going to be injecting anyone who's not going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal or Women's Battle Royal that's going to be at the pre-show, alongside the Cruiserweight title and U.S. title. So there you go. Time to look at the whiteboard. Bork and Seth is already iced down. Daniel, Bryan, and Kofi. I hope you can see that. Ronda, Becky, Charlotte, that's already iced down. Asuka and Lacey going for the SmackDown title. IC title ladder clusterfuck. Pseudo Shield versus Baron's Boys. That's a good way of putting it. Raw Tag Team Clusterfuck. SmackDown Tag Team Clusterfuck. Miz and Shane. Women's Tag Team Clusterfuck. Triple H and Batista. No DQ. We have booked WrestleMania. This will be edited next week. I'm damn well sure of it. Of course, what's going to happen with Sami Zayn? You got to remember, I thought that Sami Zayn was going to be coming back in time for Kevin Owens to have a match against Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title because, storyline connectivity, I guess. But that was the whiteboard. But now it's kind of time to get a little serious. CJ saying, I still see Sasha Bailey. Kaya saying Io Shirai. I don't know. Later, WWE. Yeah. Hey, Frank's in the room. Frank? Fonz Balor and Sami Zayn? Okay. All right. Before we end the show, it's time to be a little serious because we got to talk about a little topic that was brought to our attention on Monday night, and that is cancer. So, when it was announced that Roman Reigns came out on and said that he's in remission, cancer gone, it's all good. I'm back. The big dog is back. I'm sorry I don't have an image. I didn't copy and paste it because unfortunately he deleted it. But Dave Meltzer tweeted out on the Twitter that he questioned the validity of Roman Reigns having cancer. What I'm going to play for you right now is a little segment from Dave Meltzer, Dark Overlord Meltzer's cute little podcast that he does where he recaps Monday Night Raw, though he never recaps SmackDown, where he recaps Raw, and talks about Reigns' leukemia remission. It's really interesting. So, yeah, strap on the headphones. Get yourself a good load of self-esteem because you're better than this guy. And here we go. That's Brian Alvarez. Can you hear it, CJ? Can you hear it now? Let me know if you guys can hear it. It's very low for you guys. I paused it, so it's very low, but you guys can hear it. Well, jack up your volume because I will not talk during it. Okay? Jack up your volume. I paused it before Meltzer could say something because Alvarez has explained, he's described what's happened after Reigns' admission, saying that he's in remission. Okay? Because I've got volume jacked up on all my ends. Okay? So, here you go. Guys, hear it? What I'll do is, since you guys, if you had trouble listening to it, if you guys had trouble listening to it, I'll provide you a link over on the, once our show is done. I'll have a link for it on the YouTube page so you can see what was basically said. But essentially, what Meltzer was saying after the description of the Roman Reigns interview, the monologue that he was giving, was that Meltzer believed that it was too scripted, that it was too tacky, and that immediately afterwards they were selling t-shirts on WWEshop.com, and an alert came on his phone that you could buy the wife beater shirt that he has on with the emblem that's behind me. And he started questioning everything about this segment. Dave Meltzer didn't think that Roman Reigns had cancer. He believed it was all a work. I totally get it. Okay? I am, of all the people to talk about how, of all the people to talk about when, know when you're being sold to, right here. Okay? I preach to you all the time about know when you're being sold to. Okay? Know when you're being worked. You've been watching it for so long. Okay? But you know there are lines that are never crossed. Yeah, sure. Vince walked into a limousine and it blew up right before Benoit killed his own family and himself. But this is something that they would not work. This is something they would not work. If you really, really think that this, Roman Reigns, having leukemia, is a work, you should not be watching professional wrestling. You've been watching way too much professional wrestling. You need to take a break. A long break. If this was a work and it ever came to light that it was a work, this company would lose everything. No one would pay attention to them about anything. Everything they've worked to strive with ESPN and every other major media outlet, Yahoo, Sports Illustrated. By God, Roman Reigns was on Good Morning America the next morning. If you think this is a work, you need to stop watching professional wrestling. Stop it. Stop it. It's okay. You can take a break. It's okay. We won't miss you. No one will miss you. Get a job. Get a girlfriend. Find a social network of friends outside of the internet. Get more self-esteem. You think this is a work. You need help. Lots of it. Don't just take it from me. Don't just take it from me. You need to take it from a more reliable source. Okay? Instead, take it from the Twitter feed of leukemiacare.uk. They called out Dave Meltzer on his shit of thinking this was a work. They tweeted this out at 4:25 in the morning on Tuesday, saying, "Morning, in response to some of the tweets we're seeing online about WWE and Roman Reigns, we wanted to have a little chat about leukemia, relapse, and perceptions of cancer." They tagged Meltzer in this tweet. A public awareness Twitter handle on leukemia based out of the UK handled Meltzer on this topic. He put out a tweet. He deleted it immediately once he got this response. I'm going to go down the line because I think that really this thread given by Leukemia Care UK needs to be heard so that we all understand what leukemia is, okay? Leukemia Care from their site on Tuesday. Firstly, incredible news about Roman Reigns. Relapse is a scary reality for all leukemia patients. Either fear of your cancer returning or having to face treatment for relapse. It's great to hear some positive news from a leukemia patient. The tweets we are seeing mainly center around the idea of what a cancer patient should look like. How can he have hair? How can he have not lost weight? Why doesn't he look like a cancer patient? Well, we're going to weigh in here with some leukemia information. We feel like we know a little bit, and the Vince gif is appropriate. And so we play the gif of Vince walking out like Buddy Rogers. So here comes the Leukemia Care thread. Back to basics. Leukemia is a cancer. It affects people of all ages. There are 4 main types of cancer: ALL, AML, CLL, and CML. However, there are other types and subtypes. Leukemia is complicated, all caps. The different types are key. Acute leukemias are aggressive and need aggressive treatment to save a patient. Chronic leukemias are incurable but treatable. Don't forget, we do not know what type of leukemia Roman Reigns has. Therefore, none of us are in a position to question his treatment or how he should look, and etc. The first question: how can he have hair? Treatment for leukemia may cause hair loss. It may cause hair thinning. It may cause no hair loss at all. Featuring this great gif of the little girl shaking the fucking brush and looking all angry. I fucking love that gif. Leukemia can make you lose weight. Leukemia can also make you gain weight. There is no way that leukemia should look. A key example of this is a huge WWE fan and patient advocate. Chris the Script is his Twitter handle, who has lived with a chronic leukemia for the past decade. Does he look like a leukemia patient to you? I'm going to post it right now for everyone watching on YouTube. This is a picture of the patient they're talking about, Chris the Script or Chris Griffin. Chronic leukemia patient. Full head of hair, looks like a normal, ugly human being like you and me, not the sexually attractive human being that Roman Reigns is. Our website is full of stories of leukemia patients. I'm quoting the Leukemia Care UK thread from Twitter. If you have 10 minutes, it might be worth your having a read. A final few thoughts on the psychological impact of leukemia. The thread keeps going. Living with or beyond a leukemia diagnosis is scary. The fear of relapse is always there. Think before you tweet, so says Bones to Captain Kirk. We're more than happy to answer any questions you have about leukemia or point you in the right direction of other information. Don't be shy. There's no such thing as a silly question. Remember, everything in life is not a work. Showing the gif of an Obama dropping the mic at the correspondence dinner. If there is one thing you could do today, then please consider sharing the signs and symptoms of leukemia. You could save a life and find out more. We're very grateful that Chris Griffin has taken the time to add his own blog on this issue on this site. And there's a link to the site on Leukemia Care UK handle at Twitter. Cynicism in professional wrestling is warranted. Completely warranted. You've been watching it for so long, you know when you're being worked. This is not a work. Why would the WWE work something like this? To what benefit could it help them? Do you really think that they think that their shows are so bad that they would start a cancer angle in October? Really? Stop it. This is not TNA. TNA would do this. TNA ran rape angles. WWE would not do this. They have way too much to lose. They have way too much going for them right now. They've just shown their greatest financial gain ever as a company. Their shares are at over $80 a share. They started out at $15 2 years ago. Stop it. Stop it. If you know anyone, and I'm being incredibly serious about this, I'm being very, very serious about this. To you, the viewer or listener that's listening to this right now, if you know anyone who has vocally said that they think the Roman Reigns leukemia story is a work, block them. Hide them. Unfollow them. Pay them no mind. That is the kind of negativity that you do not need in your life. You do not need that in your life. Even if they're just a coincidence on a Reddit thread or they're actually an old high school friend. You do not need that in your life. Even if it was, you don't need that in your life. It is not worth it. Not worth it at all. To talk about professional wrestling and to treat something as serious as this. Take Roman Reigns, the incredibly sexually attractive man that you wish you were, take it out of the picture. Take it out of the picture. To work something like this is disgusting. I'll put it here right now. If this reveals to be a work, that's grounds for me to stop watching this shit altogether. It's grounds for anyone to stop watching this shit altogether. And I'm being very serious about this. If this ended up being a work, I'm a fucking ghost. You will not see me anywhere. Don't believe me? I've done it to some already. WWE knows better. They're smarter than this. I would be done with it. Seriously. I'm not saying that, oh, Doug, you'll be back next week. Oh, hell no. I'll survive. I've done it before. I got no problem pitching it. But to people who are actually thinking that this is, you really need to assess the kind of living that you're having. And this is not me snarky, calling you a Cheeto muncher or a dude chugger. It's not that. It's beyond that. When you start thinking that something like this is a work, you are way too deep in the rabbit hole. You're way too deep. And there's no way I can see you ever crawling out of it unless something monumental happens within your own life outside of this realm that you are listening to me right now. I'm serious. I saw a lot of this on the Twitter. People not believing that he was diagnosed with leukemia. It's amazing that people will vocalize their opinions on it. Put themselves out there. I guess they don't plan on getting jobs for the next 2 or 3 years. I don't feel sorry about Dave Meltzer. I mean, he deleted his tweet immediately when he got the response from Leukemia Care UK. Dark Overlord Meltzer has got a little cult of pro wrestling fans with him. You need to recognize them. You need to recognize who is way deep in the rabbit hole and who isn't. The segment that I had planned on Fantasy Booking 101, including for myself because I'm a dummy also, the Fantasy Booking segment that I had planned almost correlates with what's happening right here. Because it's all about recognizing when you're going too deep and seeing those who have gone too deep. It's hard to imagine that when you talk to people and say that you hear the comment, pro wrestling is fake, there's a difference between those that get incredibly agitated about being told that pro wrestling is fake and those like me that go, I know why you think it is, but you can't fake gravity. Yeah. So I'm going to have to hold off the Fantasy Wrestling 101 or Fantasy Wrestling Fantasy Booking for Dummies segment for a little later because this was way too hot to not let go. I saw it all over the Twitter. It was sickening. It was disgusting. I hit a few. I unfollowed a fair amount of people who had been following me because I didn't want to see it. Just in case you guys, just to give you guys a heads up on the Twitter, if you follow me, I follow you. I do. Follow me, I follow you. That's how it goes. But there's a line that when you cross on the Twitter, when I start seeing stupid shit, like thinking that leukemia is a work, or even when you start posting shit every 5 seconds. Those are my 2 lines. That's my line. You know anyone who thinks this is work, block them. If you're thinking this is a work, take a break. A long break. A long break. Like, seriously, find a job. Find a significant other. Find something new to do with your life. You need help. You need a lot of help. That's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. I'm so sorry to end on an angry, cynical, somber note, but it was all over. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to, be the turd in the punch bowl. Sorry. But, yeah. But no! There's things to look forward to, though, guys. Next week, we got Fastlane coming up. Guess who's going to be on the go-home show for this show next week? Mike Tedesco. He is going to be not only hosting the post-Raw show next Monday alongside his wife Victoria to talk about things, but he's going to be on this show to make picks for WWE Fastlane and making locks. Making locks because his health is in my hands. Victoria did it. He's going to be doing it too. And I'm also looking into who might be on my show for the Go Home WrestleMania show. I'm going to try to get someone who only appears on Wrestleview Media once a year. I would really like to have him on the show, and I damn well know we would not be talking wrestling for 2 hours. Yeah. Gills, Mike doing the picks for you. God help me. Yeah, God help me. Oh, you want a show to watch? You want to watch Wrestleview Weekly following Fastlane? Oh, it's going to be a train wreck and a half. Okay. But, anyway, that's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. Thank you all so much for showing up in the chat rooms. CJ, Quentin, Andrew, Jason, Lex, Gills, Ebony showed up. Frank showed up. Michael showed up. Anyone else who showed up. Thank you all so much for showing up. If you have not subscribed to the Wrestleview channel on the YouTube, what the fuck is your problem? Do it right now. It doesn't cost a damn thing. We only do shows 2 or 3 times a week at most. You're not going to be spammed to death. You'll survive. Okay? Do it. Be a nice person. I'm a nice person. I drink. Thank you all so much for showing up. See you guys next week. Mike, don't fuck this up.